ドールズフロントライン2エクシリウム。
What? Hold on. Okay. Get through the order of things. Excuse me. My neck. I keep doing these as early as I can. Also, I'm surprised I got it early enough where it didn't give me extra. Also, you gotta grab all the resources. 'Cause it's good to be stocked up. I don't know anything about the curio thing, but I'll just yoink these anyway. At least I'll get them later. That was it? Dang. That's garbage. Okay, let's go auto this real quick. Get it over and done with. Hope that the event hasn't ended yet. But yeah. I'm pretty tired today. Still, because I thought I had slept well enough, but apparently I hadn't. But it is what it is. Hmm. Why would you do that, Suomi? Oh, it's done. That's fine. Can't you get a pole from here before? Or was that in here? That was in here. Okay, let me check all the other shops as well. Okay. Still need so much for this. I also should really get on with this. I'd be getting way more crystals per week that way. Wait, has this reset yet? It has, okay. I'd take that. I'll do this on my own time. Oh, wait. Okay. That works. Okay. One day and 8 hours for that. Can worry about that later. Ooh, I got lucky with that. Have I already bought everything that's important? Pretty much. Guess I just get the rest of this. Still gonna have a lot left over. Actually, wait, hold on. All of this too. And all this. Okay, yeah. Good amount left over. So I can do the challenge with the rest of... I'm gonna do this one real quick, but the rest I can do another time. That is a dense pack of enemies. It'll be fine. Just to give us a shield.
みんなのためにそうってことないわ
Hmm.
従ってくれ
Let's put you there. I guess apply a little bit of damage on here.
今の
Crit?
私が終わらせる良い
Dang it. Okay. Okay, here's where we can do some damage.
交換するなら今のうちよそうってことないわ交換するなら今のうちよそうってことないわ
Then we'll move her here.
了解ごめん
Okay. Ouch. 416.
必須よ了解そうってことないわ従ってくれ訓練の成果ね現実を知りなさい 私が終わらせる それがしが守るその
I have to
戦うことは私の使命です
keep her alive as long as possible. Okay.
進歩は必須よ用意はい配置完了射撃禁止分かった訓練の成果ね
Hmm. Not gonna be able to kill anything. Unless... If that kills them...
了解
Hmm.
訓練の成果
Hold on. Okay, if I hit him,
了解
that might work. Enough to do enough damage, but hold on.
従ってくれ進歩は必須よ
Oh, I still...
私が終わらせるそうってことないわ用意
Okay. So then I go here. No, here. Hope that this kills. It did. Okay. I guess all I can do there is this. At least clears out this side of the map. I'm gonna go over here. Okay. Probably should have done this first, now that I think about it. It's fine. Okay. Probably should have gotten her to move first. Ooh, I did not mean for that. Which damage does that do versus this? This does more. There we go. Took a little while, but that one's done. And the last one I'll do off stream at some point. Same with the puzzles. But I really gotta do the story. The inspector looks down at Delia's notes as he flips through them. In addition to the accounting data, Delia has tried to provide as much additional information as she could. What do you think of the information provided by the witness. Even if the witness's testimony can be corroborated, the charges are being levied against a core figure of the farm. I believe having more proof would be helpful to the case. There are cameras throughout the farm. There's no way for the opposition to hide if they make a move, so verifying it won't be difficult. The question now is how far you're willing to go to gather this proof. Inspector remained silent in his seat, as if he's morphed into a statue. He seems ill at ease while sitting in the chair, as if the temporary meeting room suddenly seems very cramped. Let's verify the evidence. The area surrounding the location where the witness was attacked was covered by a camera. Its footage should be in the appropriate security kiosk. I'll have my people give you today's cipher key. Commander, I hope you will verify the truth of this attack, and I also need to know the identity of the person who attacked her. Take whatever screenshots you need and send them to my adjutant. He will corroborate against the database of residents. This commission is still secret, so I hope you will maintain a low profile. A secret? Are you worried about something? Inspector looks up. There's a sharp glint in his eyes. It's just in case. Neither the management nor the guards can be fully trusted. My adjutant is beyond suspicion. He's reliable, I'm sure of that. Understood? The best of the both of us. I'll lead the host to the security kiosk in question. Someone's messed with this camera too. Wait, two? Why did I say two? It's because the tampering here is almost exactly what was done during the mini-robot theft incident. Don't tell me the same person was behind both cases. It's hard to say. We don't have enough evidence. Let's just start by restoring the original footage. Should it connect to level 2 like last time, right? Shouldn't be a problem. Alright, here we are. Can I nuke it? Potentially. Bring her all the way here. Zoom out. Ooh. If I do this, I can then target that thing, right? I can, okay, so this targets everyone. Except for one enemy, which I can then use my secondary to take out. Data restoration is complete. In the restored footage, we can see Delia falling over after being shot. The killer approaches and drags her to a nearby storm drain. Looks like we're in luck. We've got several shots of the killer's face. Send these images to the adjutant. While you're at it, ask the inspector about how to proceed next. Should we head back to the admin center and meet up with him? Find a secluded corner and take a quick rest. Shortly afterwards, the communications alert bleeps. It's from the inspector. Put it through. Rizzo quickly explains what we discovered. Yes, my adjutant just told me that there was a match in the resident database. The man is a high-ranking member of the expedition team. Expedition team, you say? Let's go catch the leader now. What was his name again? I think he's called Garen? Garen? If it really was an inside job, there's a lot of doubts from before can be answered. The spate of thefts from the residential areas and trade fair would force the guards to focus on them, which probably means the warehouse wouldn't be as closely guarded as before, right? People who would know this best would obviously be core members of the management. That's right. And then there's that story about the Nien causing trouble. That one came from a member of the expedition team too, right? Someone's uncle's nephew's father's roommate or something. All this makes the expedition team more suspicious, but it doesn't directly implicate Garen. Are you still holding on to a past friendship or something? Everyone's collapse pieces are missing here. Aren't they all going to starve if you drag your feet? Oh, dang it, I forgot. Is it Chihuahua? 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 Chihuahua, I think. I'm sure the inspector knows this, he just needs some time. stopped you from pressing further. He's done a lot for the settlement, and the people trust him as much as they do me. I need to proceed carefully when it comes to him. But the festive trade fair's opening ceremony is coming, and you've already delayed it once. Yes, the traders with our supplies arrived at the farm last week. If we leave them be and fail to close this trade with them, they'll cancel it and leave. These brokers are not in the habit of hanging around and wasting time. Well, I have to say that you guys have your principles. A lot of settlements would choose to just rob the brokers outright. I've seen plenty of that in the Yellow Zone. Trade requires stability and trust. Those settlements you were talking about probably don't last long. Also, we have too many non-combatants here. We can't afford to have a firefight at the checkpoint. It's also a major factor in all this. Inspector rubs his temples. Can you, like, give it a little less? Rather avoid such a course of action unless I have absolutely no choice. The management does not rely entirely on the guards to maintain order. The residents obey our regulations because they have faith in us, and a major part of that is not stealing from each other. The residents' obedience is directly predicated on the management's willingness to keep their word. It's a virtuous cycle. Once trust in the management is gone, nobody will buy into the social contract anymore. That way lies chaos. We saw the expedition team before. There's one thing I'm curious about. Are most of the settlement's weapons concentrated in the expedition team? They are the only group that needs to leave the settlement to work, and they shoulder the greatest risk. Actually, we give them our best gear, including over 70% of our personal protective gear, weapons, and ammunition to be distributed as they see fit. If the situation truly calls for it, we may need to disperse the residents. I understand your concerns. Truth is, I have an idea, but it's a risky one. Come over to the admin center, we can talk there. Transmission ends. Alright, see, that was quick. Story point next, I'm guessing? Looks like it. Almost there. 2 days later, early in the morning, a broker convoy loaded with supplies leaves the settlement. Perhaps it's out of pity, or perhaps it's to repay the inspector's honest dealings with them, but they make their exit without fanfare. Ew, how can you even sit at a time like this? Door to the inspector's office lies open. They really left. What should we do about our supplies now? This man from the expedition team projects an air of strength and danger, like a veteran Varjager captain and the leader of a band of bounty hunters. The supply problem has been taken care of, Mr. Garen. And to Garen is only then that he realizes my presence. And who's this? A guest of yours? The expedition leader looks at the inspector. This is the commander of the Elmo, our new partner. We're partnered with the broker Aminda, whom I introduced to the inspector. She can accept a short-term deferral in payment with my guarantee. You sounded desperate, so she's on her way now. Once again, I thank you for your help in this hour of need. All the residents will remember your kindness. This development seems to have taken Garen by surprise because he pauses before speaking. So it's been settled, huh? Alright then. Miss Amanda doesn't know the region well, so we are planning to send a team out to receive her. It's no problem. Garen thinks for a moment, and then he adds something else. Your guards don't leave the settlement often, so you probably don't know the way. Let me handle the meeting. I'll bring my boys along. You can rest assured with you handling things. The festive trade fair is almost here. We cannot have any slip-ups. Next up, we'll be meeting Aminda together, Leader Garen. I'll get my guys ready. Is it to lead them out so that the fight doesn't happen within the grounds, but the fight happens out the grounds? The blink of an eye, it's time to head out. The commander, was it? Let's go, you lead the way. Hang on, the inspector isn't here yet. What do you need him for? You're an outsider, so you probably don't know, but all he does is send the expedition team off every now and then. He's too busy to come each time. Let's go. Don't bother waiting for him. Sabrina looks surprised. Didn't you know, Leader Garen? The inspector's coming with us to meet Aminda. See what? I hear the sound of footsteps behind us. It's the inspector. Sorry to keep you waiting. We can go now. Leo, what the hell? You finished all your business? The fair's about to begin, you know. Aren't you supposed to stay home and make sure everything's running fine? What are you doing out here? The shipment is of vital importance. If anything goes wrong with it, nothing else will matter. So if anything comes up, having me around will make things go more smoothly. It's been years since you've been outside of town. Don't you think you're getting a little too old for this? Just settle down. We don't need sudden stunts from you at a critical moment like this. If you want to go out on a ride, I'll bring you with me on our next expedition. You can save it. I've already made up my mind. Seriously. It's time to head out. Since you clearly value that shipment very highly, it's best you make a decision soon. Let's go. Garen clearly hasn't given up on dissuading Leo, but the inspector ignores him and looks at me. Mount up, everyone. Follow us. That was very short for a story segment. You have a new... What do you mean? What happened? What do you mean you have a new reptile? On such short notice? Oh. Yeah. It's the lizard, isn't it? Yeah. Hmm. Well. I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know what to say. That's one way for things to have developed. The jeeps race over the wilderness, stabbing into a horde of Eliads like a lance. What kind of route is this? Garen's voice is even louder with the wind blowing right in his face. The familiar outdoors seems to have caused him to shed some of his restraint. Time is tight and the terrain here is comparatively flat, so going straight would be quicker. As for the occasional obstacle, any lead blocking our path collapses as a gunshot rings out. The inspector's action supplies the answer. Nice shot, Inspector. I haven't been in a firefight for too long, so I've gotten rusty, compared to back then. He gets a new tank, and heating, and fruit flies, and a vet visit to make sure he doesn't make my snake sick. Jeez. Well, you're definitely nicer about it than I would have been after discovering invasive species and can't be re-released. That's if I would have not released him already before figuring it out. But giant eyes, big ol' eyes. Well, congrats on your new tenant. You know, does the Geico Gecko even have a name? Now that I think about it, I've only ever known him as the Geico Gecko. Geico Gecko is the name. The inspector laughs in a self-deprecating way, and his mouth curves up in a smile. Back then, I heard the vendors at the fair say Inspector Leo and Leader Garen used to be pals in a bounty hunter crew back in the day. Sure were. This guy used to be a real William Tell. He'd knock them down as fast as they popped up. That shot just now was too slow, nothing like how he was at his peak. Most bounty hunters tend to stay on the move. Once they finish sweeping an area, they move on to the next, and their routes are largely decided by their commissions. So why did you guys decide to quit the business and settle down? Seems to be ancient history for them. Garen thinks for a long time before finally giving an answer. He's a day gecko. Type of gecko whose skin peels off a self-defense. My gecko is a tropical house gecko. That is invasive. I'll be honest, I didn't even think of geckos being invasive to Florida. Considering I always thought it's like, okay, Florida's tropical enough. They're probably there naturally. They eat it. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Then, yeah, can't re-release. Wait, why is it called re-release when you're not releasing twice? New tenant. Everyone cackling. I'm now housing a house kick. Oh, are you sure it's the same one? Also, would this be considered squatters' rights? Hey, if it makes you feel better, if another one breaks in, at least you already have a tank. You're allergic to. Oh no. Well, there's gotta be something else, like. Or maybe, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I doubt it's just fruit flies. There's gotta be, like, something else you could get. Unless you're also allergic to basically everything else that is, like, would be food for a gecko. We messed up one too many times. Lots of our guys got hurt bad or kicked the bucket. In the end, our crew broke up. You know how life is in the Yellow Zone? This sort of thing happens all the time. All you need is to fill your belly. Take me, for example. As long as you've got the skills to pay the bills, you can eat well no matter where you go. You can feed it springtails. You're even more allergic to springtails. Of course. Because it drives the Jeep over a sandy curve and all conversation stops for a bit. We end up swaying back and forth for some time before we can finally settle down. The crew was never really that united to begin with, and we had discussions before doing anything. Anyone who agreed would join us on a commission, and anyone who didn't wouldn't take part. Well, we lived and ate together. We didn't have much in the way of a common consensus or close ties. Again, remember that blonde-haired midget from back in the day? I think so. What happened to him? Don't remember anything about him. Don't think he rebuilt the farm with us. Well, he loved picking up first aid kits and would always go straight for them. Whenever our guys got hurt, he'd have to buy medical supplies off him. They'd have to buy medical supplies off of him. And if you couldn't pay, he'd just watch as you died in front of him. I remember now. You're always a busybody. I can't remember how many times you lent money to the people begging him for meds. In the end, everyone you lent money to died, and you didn't get a single credit back. Lending money in the Yellow Zone is risky. You need to invest wisely. That said, you're a good man for doing what you did, Spectre. Hats off to you. Hiya. I'm just thinking of Uncle Roger. I'm not. I will try not to. Well, the bum midget died later on, and nobody ever found that medical chest he always carried with him. Hell, it might not even have been the enemy that got him. One of our guys might have been eyeing his meds. Back then, we were always coming back with fewer people than we started out with. Some died and some left. Who's to say one of them didn't take the chest and scrapped? Back then, people only cared about what they needed at the moment. It wasn't uncommon for infighting to happen because they found something valuable. Crews like that would either crumble or fall apart by themselves. Garen frowns. Seems he's realizing something because his tone changes. That said, it's the Yellow Zone, Leo. It's like that everywhere. We're all going to die sooner or later, so I'll just have to fight to survive for as long as I can. How'd that saying go? Seize the day. I thought that rather than drifting aimlessly, it was better to find a place to settle down. It wasn't necessarily that's an error right there. It wasn't necessarily worse than being a bounty hunter. That's why we came to Darksteel Farm after the crew disbanded. Strange silence fills the jeep. Just then we spot a plume of smoke in the distance. Commander, a pack of elites is approaching us. They're just in time. I've been meaning to give these old bones of mine a little workout. Okay, I might be able to nuke all of them.
了解
Time to find out. Caught by the dot's fire, the elites instinctively flock toward direction where the gunfire is more sparse. There, Garen and the rest of his expedition team members are having a hard fight. Come have a go if you're hard enough out. Garen's shout becomes a cry of pain. Heavy armor provides him with a solid defense, but it also makes him too slow to avoid the attacks coming from all directions. Huihua's voice comes in over our encrypted channel. We've largely cleared this side out. Should we go see... We've largely cleared this side out. Should we go over to assist? No need to rush. Approach the combat area and wait for my signal. I watch Inspector Leo head toward Garen. Under ensuring that the tactical situation is under control, I take out my binoculars. Behind Garrett, Anila is about to bash his brains out. Garen, get down! Inspector Leo raises a gun and Garen instinctively ducks. The bang which follows is lost in the clamor of battle, but the elite behind Garen crumples to the ground. However, there's just a single insignificant moment on the battlefield and more elites pounce on them. Huihua, Sabrina, go back them up. Sure thing, been waiting for this. Even after putting down my binoculars, I can still see Huihua dragging Sabrina over to help them. From the driver's seat goes a smiles. As lively as ever. Huihua, I mean. Yes, she's very good at managing the mood. Battle soon ends and the others return to the jeep. Garen and the inspector collapse into their seats to regain their strength. Everyone alright? Some of our boys in the jeep over there are hurt. Nothing major though, it's no big deal. It's a little close back there, but we're vets of the Yellow Zone, so it's not like we haven't seen this before. Back when we first came to the farm, it was still a heap of rubble, and there were elites running around inside its perimeter. Garen was always at the head of the pack whenever there was an attack. Still remember those days, Garen? How could I possibly forget? We couldn't find anywhere to take cover, so we had to pitch our tents inside one of those condemned buildings. I think it was around the same time as now, yeah? Had to sleep with one eye open, and one night I woke up to an elite about to bite my nose off. Was it cold that night? Thought we were done for. We used up all our ammo and nearly froze to death. Chuihua tenses up as she hears this. What happened then? How did you survive? Well, we somehow managed to fight them off. While we were picking up the pieces, we suddenly heard a broadcast on the radio. It was a festive song, and Garen began whistling along with it. Soon everyone joined in, even though their singing was terrible. I still remember the warmth of the sun that day. It was a good start to the day. I still remember a passing Green Zone convoy asked if we were setting off fireworks last night. Yeah, we were shooting off RPGs all night long. How's that for fireworks? We go back and forth reminiscing about the past. The moon in the air is the most relaxed that it's been so far. You shot that elite off my face back then, didn't you? Like just now. Man, I'd have been dead if it wasn't for you. The leader did a whistle on it. I cleaned it and gave it to you as a memento. Still remember it? Of course. Been holding on to it all this time. At this point, Garen falls silent and says no more. The gecko has a name. His unofficial... Wait, okay. Apparently his unofficial name is Martin Gecko. The gecko has a name. My gecko, not Geico Gecko. Uh-huh. What's the name? Spectre looks calmly at Garen. Working together was worthwhile, right? After that, we built the farm into what it is today. I believe that focusing on rules and helping each other meant that the farm wouldn't fall apart after a few years, like most bounty hunters' crews. You know how it is. We humans are tiny specks. It's only by banding together that we have a chance against the storm of life. Shuihua nods vigorously, was about to chime in with approval. Tug on her and interrupt her from doing so. Dandelion, because one, dandelions are far traveling weeds who are super cute and round like the gecko is, and two, because I make bazillion puns because he invaded my life. Incredible. There's a character named Dandelion in this game. I forget what chapter you meet her though. She's a gremlin. Well, more like she gives off gremlin energy. I tug on her and interrupt her from doing so. Well, it's almost time for the festive trade fair. Class visas were stolen and we can't buy the supplies we need from facing an invisible storm of its own. Built this farm together and I want to keep it standing until the very end. Garen, will you help me, like you did back then? Garen looks down and then he laughs. You're as stubborn as ever. Spectre turns away with a look of disappointment on his face, looking at the road ahead. Just then, text message, alert, breaks the silence. Gentlemen, Amanda is here, and we're almost at the designated meeting point. Almost at the designated meeting point. I'm really curious where this is going. Because this feels like we're running out of time, or running out of levels and story points to actually get to whatever conclusion is going to happen. Because, like, little story bits have been shorter than expected. Would you like to see him? All my friends are cackling at my suffering. Sure. Yeah, you can send a picture. I'll look at it when I have a sec. There are two people in the vehicle shelter. They're leaning against a truck in the shelter, waiting for us. We dismount to show our respect and trust. That said, despite being several hundred meters away, one of them is already jumping and hopping around. Oh, look at Vepley! Over here, Vepley's here. Vepley happily runs up to us. Don't worry, Commander. Vepley knows today's mission. Vepley will put on a good show. Mr. Pizza, is something wrong? Kofne quickly fiddles with Vepley's Pizzaris backpack, taking advantage of Vepley's distraction to flash the others a placating smile. Sorry, she's new. I'm Aminda, and it's nice to meet new clients. Chuifwa strives mightily to control her laughter and looks away, not daring to look further. Sabrina smiles too, only Groza remains calm. The commander's given me a rough summary of this situation. I've brought what you want. The payment will be in installments. The details are all in the contract. Since time is tight, shall we set off now and bring the goods back to the settlement right away? Hang on, I want to check the merch. Open the cargo bay and let us have a look at it. As he says this, Garen brings his armed expeditioners over to the truck. Kofne cosplay is still a go. Certainly. Kofne calmly opens the cargo bay. Expedition team members move crate after crate of cargo out and lay them in neat rows on the ground before inspecting them. As they move toward the crates deeper within, Kofne moves to stop them. We're deep in the middle of the yellow zone, right? Sure, bringing them all out would be a little dangerous. If we have our Jaegers, well, my humble enterprise wouldn't be able to take the losses if you couldn't move them all back in time. Again, we're getting the goods first and paying them later. We can inventory the cargo when we get back. No need to worry about them pulling tricks. That's right. Anything could happen out here, so it's best to get it back to safety first. Just check a few of them. We should prepare to head back soon. Expeditioners do not stop opening crates and ignore the inspector's words. My pulse quickens. These resource crates are placeholders, borrowed from the ammo. Not all of them are filled with supplies, as there's no telling what they'll open one that's filled with sand. Fine. Stop and load it all back up. Let's go. We'll lead the way. Inspector turns away. A weapon chambers with an audible click from behind him. More plumes of dust rise up in the distance as more jeeps drive over, easily cutting us off from the truck. These vehicles have the emblems of the expedition team on them, but they weren't in the convoy just now. Leader Garen, what is the meaning of this? Is this what you chose in the end, Garen? Armed and armored men jump down from the jeeps and approach us. Here it is. Also, are you old enough to remember why Geico's logo is a gecko? Girls, I love you. You're okay, but wow, okay. I used to know, but I can't remember anymore. The guns are aimed at the inspector and me. The dolls immediately form a screen in front of us. Broker, this is farm business. Stay out of it. You'll get the money you were promised and an extra 10% as gratuity. Sure, we'll be good. Courtney smiles and backs up with her hand behind her back, but I sense that she's waiting for my command. They used to have a running gag in the night is the gecko picking up the phone all angry because this isn't Geico, this is Gecko, and hanging up. Incredible. Such a simple reason. Give her an almost imperceptible nod by way of response. And you, Commander, what was it? The ammo? If you butt out now, we'll pay you off too. Unfortunately, in our line of work we have these things called principles, you see? Plus, I have my reputation to think about, so unfortunately I can't do that. I mock bow in apology, but stand my ground. Garen snorts. There are far more expedition members now than before. Clearly this has given him a huge boost in confidence. Not leaving, then you're just asking to die. Before that, can I ask why you're doing this? On account of the fact that we used to be friends. Don't know. I figure I can give you a freebie before you die. I took the collapse pieces. I wanted to screw your little festive fair over, and I wanted those losers you took pity on to kick you out, along with all those useless bums you hired. You just run the farm into the ground with those lists dragging you down. We in the expeditions team do the most and risk the most. I should have been the inspector in the first place. Garen gets more and more worked up as he speaks, as though he's pouring out years of frustration at once. Do you know how many of my boys died out there? Do you even recognize their faces? Have you ever seen them bleed, get their limbs torn off, or the crystals growing through their bodies? They died for the supplies we brought back. Why should we share it with those useless bums back at the farm? Those vendors and scavengers are all equally useless. This is a yellow zone. If we can find it, you think we can't sell it? Your guards are just as useless. If it wasn't for the expedition team covering for them, would have... Hold on. Why do I have a cough? I'm gonna hydrate more. Give me a sec. Yeah. Would they even be able to protect? But in the end, the supplies got around to everyone anyway. Ken waves his gun around wildly as he vents, but he never once points it at the inspector. Seems at the moment getting all this off his chest is more satisfying for him than just finishing us off. So that's what you were upset about. But have you ever considered what would happen to the farm if things hadn't developed as you expected? What good would the title of inspector be if the farm had fallen to internal upheavals? Would your expedition team be able to escape all that untouched? So what if I didn't think about it? I still believe that anyone who's strong enough to Anyone who's strong enough can survive anywhere he ends up. Start trying to sell you car insurance. I'll be very upset. You don't know just how much the farm is spending and how much we're taking in. We've pretty much swept all the nearby caches and our expeditions are going further and further, about twice as long as before. Even if we can sustain our numbers at the moment, what about in 3 years' time? Or 5? Don't forget that all those useless mouths you're taking in are popping out breaths too. You should cosplay this guy. Who? You can't think of it that way. There are others working in the farm too. They're establishing a logistics change for you, and the kids will grow up to be productive members of the community. Well, that's just rude. To you, Jiu, I mean. Please reconsider, Karen. Put your guns down. The farm still needs the expedition team. We can still make it work. Are you blind? How many people do you have? How many people do I have? I'll make you a counteroffer. Take your hired guns and get lost. Never come back to the farm and I'll spare your life. So there's no room for discussion then. You can run or die. Pick one. Don't worry. I'll tell them you died along the way. Everyone will remember you. Once I become the inspector, Darksteel Farm will become the most powerful settlement in the Yellow Zone under me. Yes, I know who you're talking about, Jiu. But the problem is, why? He's the only faceless guy anyway. Because technically the commanders do have, you know, faces. Because they actually, yeah. I'll keep the vendors who can make good pitches. As for the rest, they can screw off. Okay. Seems there's nothing else to say. I gave you the chance to leave. You were the one who rejected it. Get them, boys. Karen signals to the expedition team to attack. Some of them hesitate since the target is the inspector, but after seeing their colleagues moving, they raise their guns too. Alright then. At some point, the inspector has pulled out an old whistle. He blows on it. The shrill sound echoes through the sky. It's answered by the sound of jeeps roaring through the distance from afar. These are reinforcements from the guard squads. Is that a whistle-shaped transmitter? Been meaning to modify my own transmitters with retro styling like that. I bet it would look great on the commander. Turns out someone else already did it. Whistle, you say? Didn't it come up in that story just now? It's nothing. It's not important. Let's get ready for battle too. Because it's Serena and Chuiho aside, I signaled to Kofni and Vepley too. For Vepley's exciting debut. Ready, Commander. Kofni draws her gun, ready for battle. Now the expedition team's advantage is no more. Garen's eyes go wide and he looks incredulously at the inspector. You knew? That's impossible. When did you find out? So you never trusted me in the first place, did you? Inspector's eyes are filled with a complex mix of emotions. 10 minutes ago. I was still thinking that if you were willing to give up on this, I could continue pretending that nothing happened. I'm sorry, Garen. And now it's time for me to just nuke them because I have overpowered characters. For the story, anyway. Ready for battle. Your orders, please. Everyone, mission start. Do they have a boss unit at all? Or is this like too small of a thing? Yeah. Yeah, no, I noticed too. I just wasn't gonna comment on it, but then you commented on it, so I didn't say anything initially. Oh, there's gonna be more spawning. Okay. That's fine. Boop. No. We're gonna have to do it like this, huh? Wait a second. What if I go here? No, that wouldn't work either. Here, maybe? No, too far. That's troubling. You know what? It's fine. We'll do it like this. And then pop.
これでかな。
Do that. Then the mission hasn't ended yet. And we'll just push the others forward.
了解。
Since you're GIF in response. Just a sec.
ハンデを受ける。その
My response to that GIF. Hold on. Dang it, I can't find it. Oh well. Same. So regards have Garen tied up. Spectre walks up to him. Tell me where the collapse pieces are, Garen. You sounded confident enough to give that broker a 10% bonus, so I'm sure you've hidden them somewhere. First, we thought that Garen wouldn't tell us. After all, the collapse pieces were a valuable bargaining chip enough to buy his life. However, he gives up the location so readily that it catches everyone off guard. Got that? Data logged, Commander. I've recorded the coordinates too. It's inside Darksteel Farm, deep inside the ruins, it seems. Sure, I lost. I wasn't wrong, though. I just wasn't strong enough, I admit that. Leo, I'll be watching you from the afterlife. He snorts derisively. That aside, if you ask me, things won't end well for softies like you, Leo. Considering we used to be buddies, I hope you make it to the next year. Thank you, Gar. The inspector looks at his former friend. His face is a mask of pity and regret. Then, he chambers around. Garen leans forward, resting his head against the muzzle of the inspector's gun. Commander, this is an internal matter for the farm. Would you mind? The dolls and I are just going to go scout the perimeter. Been a while since we went for a walk in the wasteland. Gotta gather the dolls and lead them away with me. Behind us, the guards have Garen's men at gunpoint. By the time we get back on the jeep, the faint sounds of cracks and pops can be heard in the distance.
Thank you, by the way. I'm still semi-vanished, but I wanted to give this.
Oh. Thank you for the face. But what do you mean you're semi-vanished? What happened? Also, hello, Alan. I don't... I'm not really sure. Sounds just like fireworks in the green zone, doesn't it? Out with the old and with the new, leave all the bad stuff behind and welcome a brand new start. I hope they will see a new beginning. You just wanted to be here for Big Titty event? Oh, I see. I mean, for a new character of Shotgun event. Despite Chuhua's attempts to cheer everyone up, everyone is still strangely gloomy. Pat them all on the shoulder. Just then, Perry sends us a transmission. Commander, I contacted Amanda as requested. We're together now. I think the sound of gunfire has died down. Can we approach? Yes, escort Amanda to the real meetup point. The farm's inspector will be there after we arrive. Roger that. Perry ends the transmission. Several days ago, after Chuhua and I asked Amanda for help, the real Amanda responded to us. I arranged for Perry to have her wait nearby, so she wouldn't get caught up in the fighting, while Kovney and Vepley impersonated her. The inspector and Amanda quickly gave the supplies a once-over, and on the way back, the inspector chooses to ride with us. When we go back, I'll tell them that Garen and his expedition team were attacked by Varjägers and died. Trust you all know what to do and don't need me to elaborate, right? Understood. Don't worry, our lips are sealed. Can I ask about something? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I saw some of the expedition members were kind of confused about what to do, and they didn't really seem too heavily involved with all this. Are they going to die gloriously too? There weren't a lot of those outsiders, so the guards are going to have a good long chat with the survivors. They're probably going to be traumatized after watching their teammates die, so they'll need some follow-up therapy for a while. Then, once they're fully recovered, they can go back to work. Spectre says all this with a straight face, as though Expedition Leader Garen had actually been killed in a Viagra attack. Should I go gym or watch Weapons in theater? I'm still not sure what Weapons is about. Which, I mean, that's a good way to gain interest in a trailer. It's just that I also don't know if I'd actually like to watch the movie. But, I mean, I think you should go to the gym, because you need to go to the gym. I know Weapons is a horror movie. I've seen the trailer. Also, hold on. Alan, here, have this. This is the GIF. That Geo sent me. Why not just DM you yourself? Wait. No, hold on. But why would you DM yourself though? You said you yourself. It's fine. I already sent it. It's okay. Inspector, there's a little splash on your neck. Samira touches her neck to indicate the spot in question. Oh, okay. So, Alan, long story short, Ju's house was invaded by a lizard. She caught it and wasn't sure what to do with it. You know what? You don't get the story then. So it touches next to indicate the spot in question. The inspector reaches up to try and wipe the stain, but only spreads the reddish-brown color further, like a wound that will not heal. Let me do it. Just some water from my hydration pack and found the wound is wiped away. I note the whistle-shaped transmitter hanging around his neck is now outside his shirt. Is that the whistle Garen gave you? No, I don't know if you can read, because I know that you can't listen either, so maybe you can't read either. Spectre looks down and reaches up to hold it. Yes. Doesn't elaborate, but he doesn't take it off either. Only stuffs it back inside his shirt. I didn't fight for a long time before today, but now I feel like I'm a bounty hunter again. The road is rough and the engine roars. We shake and shudder inside the vehicle, not knowing what lies ahead of us. The leader of a bounty hunter crew ought to protect his people. Settlement's leader ought to protect his home. It's the same thing. You are more than qualified to be a leader. My words force a laugh from the inspector. Actually, I have a question I'd like to ask. It's just an idle question, so don't take it seriously. What are you planning to do after this trade fair? The expedition team was your primary source of income, right? Inspector is silent for a while. There are too many things I have to do. I don't know where to begin. The expedition team has lost its leader. We need to appoint a new one and recruit new members. Garen's concerns were valid. The farm needs to improve its productivity and find new resources. The path to survival will be difficult, but I believe that when one door closes, another opens. Stone grows more and more grim as he contemplates these matters. Now that I think about it, I should have seen this coming. The expedition team has been unhappy about how resources were allocated for a long time now. I told him that our current reward scheme favors the expedition team's contributions over all others. Plus, even if he had won, it wouldn't change the fact that he'd need a support staff. Everyone in the settlement has their own task to complete. Wait, why am I yelling at you? Why would I yell at you? No. Your nose bleeding. Oh. That's not good. That's bad. Inspector pauses and looks at Chihuahua before continuing. Apart from the scavengers. Why did you suddenly... You had told me that the scavengers could effectively develop the ruins and that they knew various agricultural techniques which could provide us with a limitless source of food, but he was wrong. The residents don't see any value in keeping them. That was also one of the factors that drove Garen to his rebellion, although I didn't expect him to actually do it. What joy do you bring to me? The lizard, okay. What about it? They can drop their tail if scared and will angry squeak. He did neither because small. Okay. And what happened? You have been... Apparently, you have been placed as... On the food chain, you are under a house gecko. A baby house gecko. Harmless. It isn't just the expedition team that's unhappy with them. If we don't solve the problem of the scavengers, the other residents won't be able to tolerate them either. Do you regret taking them in? The inspector thinks and he shakes his head. Darksteel Farm is their home, and people in the Yellow Zone have all had times when they were adrift and lost, myself included. Nobody wants to lose their home a second time. I do my best to buy them some time, but I also need to take the well-being of all the residents into consideration too. So in the end, they'll have to rely on themselves. After the inspector says this, we all fall silent for a while. If it's just about the food,
When?
I might have the solution there. Or rather, I'm pretty sure I have a solution. We all look at Chuho. I wanted to mention this earlier, but we had all this stuff going on, so I never had the chance to tell Yura. Anyway, I saw soulless hazelnuts while we were exploring the ruins. What's that? It's that poisonous plant Yura was talking about. Actually, it grows fruit. You need to crack them open and process them, but in short, they're edible. I spent a long time in the Yellow Zone running around and studying what new life forms in the Yellow Zone can and can't be eaten, so I think you can trust me on this. Alright, Ellen. You be safe out there. I can vouch for that. Chuha is a proper Yellow Zone Master Chef now. The fact that they're everywhere in the ruins means raising them is pretty simple. Even if you need some time to grow them, just harvesting what's in the ruins should be able to tide you over for a year and a half or so. Also, they're really filling too. In short, I think the scavengers would be able to feed themselves. It would be great if they could cultivate them. Relax, Inspector. I'm sure the scavengers can do it. The truth is, I disagree with what Leader Garen had said before. Chuhua hesitates, but she ultimately decides to continue with the topic. Even if things are tough now, based on what I've seen of people in the Yellow Zone these few years, I believe humans will continue to survive and the world will continue to get better. Someday, everyone will be able to eat their fill and wear a full set of comfortable clothes that fit well and do the work they like. Of course, the requirement for that is that the people don't give up. No matter what choices they make, whether they accept or reject something, They have to keep going on. As for me, I'll keep doing what I can do, which is to make sure everyone gets something to eat. Mr. Inspector, you aren't a weak man. You'll live a good long time, and maybe when your hair turns gray and white, you'll see a kinder, gentler world like we've never seen before. For once, Chuhua is absolutely serious and solemn. Everyone is briefly stunned into silence until Sabrina giggles. Bravissimo. That's exactly the kind of thing you'd say, Chuhua. I'm sleepy, so I keep forgetting to look the nice lady in the eyes. What do you mean by that? Of course I'd say what I would say. Her eyes are up here, Jiu. They're right here. Dolls begin squabbling as the jeep continues forward. And from the corner of my eye, I can see the inspector smiling too. Just cosplay Sabrina, what do you mean? Nothing to be mad about. Almost done with the event. Oh, you're going to? Then there's no problem. What's the problem then? We find the collapse pieces at the location Garen gave us, and the festival takes place as planned. Unlike the previous years, this year's ceremony includes a memorial service for the fallen members of the expedition team. After the solemn event, the distribution of annual supplies takes place. The settlement erupts into wild revelry. Why are you spray bottling me? What tone? You're just finding excuses to be mean to me again. I see how it is. Chief Yura, your boxes look really heavy. Need help carrying them? What do you mean spray him again? Also, hello cat, how you doing? Dang it. Why? Why? Hold on. Dang it, it's the crab. You know what? Whatever, you're getting the crab. It's alright, we scavengers didn't have that many contribution points, so we only managed to collect a few boxes. I can handle 3 more loads like this by myself. It's not like you have to push yourself so hard. Come here, can you understand the joy I'm feeling right now? I'm carrying her supplies, and the more I have, the heavier they are. So the extra weight is actually a sense of security, or the tiredness that comes from happiness. At Yura's insistence, all we can do is watch him return with his hands full, without lifting a finger to help. By the time we return to the scavenger's camp, Chuihua has just finished her tutorial on how to cook and prepare the soulless hazelnuts, and we can hear her bright, cheery voice through the flaps of the tent. Actually, no, hold on. I need to figure this out. Why does it bug out like this? Because it shouldn't be, you know? Like... There's an individual one. Okay. Wait, so why isn't it... I don't get it. Because I have to manually do this. Which is dumb, because I remember there was 2 sections where one of them was one link and the other was a different one. Should I to like make more? Maybe? Hold on. Give me a second. Hmm. I don't get it. It used to work perfectly fine, but it's like they removed that feature or something. Because now I have to like manually do this, you know? To manually click. Also, it covers up some of the text I just noticed. Maybe we should make it smaller. Hmm. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. For now. Once again, I emphasize, you absolutely have to make sure you cook it thoroughly. If it's not properly cooked, you mustn't eat it. Because it's taken Serena to go shopping, which leaves me with nothing to do but watch the scavengers as they begin cultivating their test plot. Shortly afterwards, I hear footsteps from behind as Trihua walks up to me. Done with the lesson? Yep, my students are doing self-study now. I hope we don't get any food poisoning cases tonight. Trihua moves to my side. Scavengers are laboring on their various tasks, and for the moment, so nobody notices us. In the past, I left that green zone farm because I saw a lot of cases where people and places fell apart. When I delivered fancied expensive ingredients at green zone restaurants, I watched people throw away leftovers without a second thought. But when I did deliveries in the yellow zone, every moment and every place I visited had people plagued by hunger, pain, and fear. I couldn't change the restaurants in the green zone, but there's a lot I can do in the yellow zone. Chihuahua's voice is quieter and gentler than usual. Truth is, I wasn't always good at cooking, but I spent the past few years focusing on food, looking for hidden gems among ingredients, and figuring out how to prepare them. Slowly, my cooking skills improved. Food. It seems to have a magical power that can ease pain. People would sigh in relief after eating the stuff I made. Perhaps feeling hungry is something like the hope to survive, don't you think? You've grown a lot in your search for cooking skill. Done well during this incident. Really? Juhua looks at me, her eyes shining like stars. Glad you approve, Commander. You know, I haven't thanked you for helping me with this whole thing. You don't need to. This was an interesting experience for me. What do you mean by that? Of course I have to thank you. Well, it started out as just fulfilling a request from my old boss. Halfway through it turned into carrying out the mission that I assigned myself. Whether it's the scavengers here or the residents in the settlement, I want to spare them all the pain of hunger and give them the courage they need to live on. Do you think I managed to do that, Commander? Well, the look on your face tells me you're pretty proud of what you've done. Still, since you want me to praise you, I'll praise you again. Thanks. Satisfied, Juha decides to change the topic. She says yeah as well. Now that you mention it, our reunion turned out completely different from what I originally planned. I was going to sneak aboard the Elmo with a whole bunch of awesome ingredients and brand new skills and announce myself with a full-on banquet. How did I end up making such a sloppy entrance anyway? Every time I go into the bathroom now I check for geckos, my life has changed. My life has forever changed. Well, it's probably for the best, though I would suggest looking for how they get in and preventing that. Just in case. Can we do it again, Commander? You know, pretend you never saw me? Give me a chance to sneak aboard the Elmo. No, I meant like, how do they get in the house in general? Because like, you're supposed to be in a decent place. Why does your front door have a gap? It's supposed to be a decent high-end place. The house is supposed to be sealed. You've gotta get out of there. You definitely have to. I know you've mentioned moving before, but you definitely need to. Everything you've told me about the whole place is ridiculous. You should just start a war with the HOA. Can we do it again, Commander? You know, pretend you never saw me. Give me a chance to sneak up with the Elmo. This reunion is good enough. Don't worry about it. True, true. Sure, it was sloppy, but that was just because of the circumstances. Our reunion was everything I wanted. Glad to be back by your side again. I laugh and pat Chuhua on the back. Scavenger's voice comes from the tents calling for Chuhua. Miss Chuhua, where are you, miss? Could you show us a few more dishes, please? I'm coming. Chuhua bids me farewell before rushing toward the tent. Wait, Chuhua. I just remembered that Mei Ling, she's our mechanist. She's our mechanist aboard the Elmo. Sent a recipe for... I'm trying to... I can't remember if that's if it's Jioji or Jioshi or just Jaishi. It might be Jaishi. Filling a while back, seems she wants some. Can you do anything with it? No problem. Yoshi are part of my specialty. Just leave it to me. Is that Chuhua's? Sent Chuhua's. No, I sent Chuhua Mei Ling's recipe. Did I ever tell you my consideration for malicious compliance? I don't think you have. At the foot of the highlands, another person approaches me. It's the inspector. This is the first time I've seen the scavenger camp so lively. We meet again, Commander. The inspector looks around and greets me breezily. Chief here is by the tents. No, I'm here for you. Inspector takes an envelope from his pocket. The special entry permit is for you. An additional gift above and beyond what was promised in the contract. For the sake of our continued friendship. Look at the permit, which bears the inspector's personal signature. I suddenly recall all the crap we went through and being chased by the checkpoint guards because of this, giving me an urge to chuckle. We asked for a year for them to do something about the roaches in the walls. They're German roaches. They have a hive and they're nearly impossible to remove. We got a company to deal with them. They came back because the hive isn't in my wall, so we can't kill them. The HOA said it's our problem and even put papers in our doors, because the gap in the door was caused by the HOA. So what's the compliance thing? On behalf of the farm's residents, and myself of course, I would like to thank you for the help you gave to Darksteel Farm. Releasing 100 wolf spiders in the wall to eat the roach. Honestly, you should just release like 1,000 bees in the HOA office. Or coincidentally, near the HOA office, there's now a wasp nest. I think that's just malicious. Listen, I don't want to hear about how something is considered malicious against an actively malicious organization. On behalf of the farm residents, and myself, of course, I would like to thank you for the help you gave to Darksteel Farm. Even if I can't publicly declare it, this permit will serve as a symbol that the Elmo will always be a friend of the farm. You're welcome. Now that I've delivered my gift, I'll be heading back. Why not stay for dinner? Chuihua is cooking up a storm. I have to take care of things at the admin center. We'll share a drink next time. Inspector waves to us and goes back to the way he came. We're back. Girls bought tons of cute little trinkets. And me too, I stocked up on cheese. Of course. Sabrina, don't bring it up. Why hide it? Today is a day of celebration. It's okay to go over budget if it's once in a while. Why do you have so much food? Miss Delia forced us to take it. She said it was thanks for saving her life. She spent a lot of contribution points on them, but apparently the inspector transferred her some from his personal account. So it's a gift. That's good to hear. Send it all to Chuihua. We'll have extra dishes tonight. Evening comes, the smoke from the cook fires curls into the sky. In the distance, the trade fair and the settlement glow brightly in the twilight. Around us, the tents are fused by a warm radiance. I call mailing and all the dolls who aren't occupied at the moment to the campsite, so they can enjoy the evening with us. Oh. Hot, 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 coming through. Make way, make way. I can't tell if all of this is fireworks back here, or if this is actually the size of the settlement, because that's insane. Where did all the Joshi go? Save me some, come on. Chuihua's voice fills the air as she strides out with big plates of food in hand. Around her, the scavengers exchange seasonal greetings as they celebrate surviving another year. Sometimes I feel like the fire in the stove is like a little ember of hope, because whenever there's smoke from a cooking fire, there's hope in a future. After thinking for a bit, I nod in agreement. Kofna is so cute here. The art is overall gorgeous, but she just looks so friendly and not so depressed and murderous. Depressed and murderous? Whatever could you mean? No matter how hard the previous year might have been, people's hearts are still filled with joy in the moment when a plate of piping hot food is laid on the table, and their shared enjoyment of the dishes brings them closer together. Have good luck. Have a good time. The coming year is going to be a good one, right? Sure it will. And that's the end of the event. All that's left is doing the little extra stuff, which, I mean, I can just zoom right through. A little bit of minigames as well. Ah, they're doing this, huh? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The one with mailing. Okay. Alright. Let's drop this up here. The goal is a single turn it, so. That's another one done. This is gonna be annoying. Okay. Ah, it's an evacuate. Okay, well, if that's the case... Oh, that's the case. No. That's the case. Or just use the ladder to climb over.
わかった。どうってことないわ。その用意。その
Did it die? I guess. I guess it died. Wait, can we cross? Okay, we can cross.
どうってことないわ。その 了解。どうってことないわ。
Alright.
わかった。
Get everyone out.
用意。
Why couldn't it just have been an easy, simple kill everything, you know?
404を敵に回したのが運のつ。
One more. And done. Now I just have the little mini games and like one thing of the what's it called? The last mission of the hard mode. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, that's one off. That's also one off. That's also one off. There we go, that's the one there. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. So zoom, zoom. There we go. Okay, this one's a lot easier. Whoops, I did not mean to do it that. Nope, get. There we go. Okay. That's all this, right? Yep, that's everything. Better odds than most people. You know, hold on. That reminds me. I want to check if there's actually a way to see all that art without having to be here. Also, I'll just do this last thing You know what? I should do it now. Why not? Just get it done, over with. Oh, this might be a problem. You know what? It's fine. People use somebody's. This one. Wait, how's her name Blue? How's her name Blue? Wait. Wait. Alright, okay, that one. 3894. Okay, no, that one's fine. Wait, what? Oh, why'd you have to jinx it? Never trust internet service providers to quote unquote solve the problem. Ever. That's a big range. Hold on. That works. And done in one turn. Thanks to somebody's support group guy. We're good. That's fine. Wait, does that mean I'm done? Okay, challenge mode, 100%. Supply mode, 100%. Story mode, 100%. Rhythmic tempo. All checks. All full boxes. All checks. All checks. And this, basically everything already, and this is just stuff that I'll spend later. Probably. Alright, we're full cleared with the event. Finally. Now I can switch to something else, and by something else I mean probably gonna switch to Supermarket. Because I want to play more Supermarket. A bit. Not too much, but a bit. Oh jeez, I see my bitrate is so bad right now. Alright. Says to BRB. Okay. Is there anything I can like? Maybe that, and maybe this. All right. Unfortunately, I cannot play the open beta because the open beta is down, and I have to work. I have to wait 3 more days before the open beta comes back. So yeah. Okay. Let me check a couple of things here. Wow, my internet's being so slow right now. Okay. And yes. It's been long enough. I can turn that off. I'm okay at it. Definitely would be better with more practice, though. Oh, my back. Ugh. I still don't know what to name this thing, but I kind of want to progress a little bit before I name it, because I kind of don't want to deal with any thieves yet. Alright, let's see. Like watching. Usually find this gets boring. Uh, to each their own, you know? What was I gonna do? Yeah, I know what you mean. Hold on, can I? When can I get that? Get it now. I can get it now. I feel like this is helpful. This would be really helpful, right? I feel like it'd be more convenient than having to go like, oh, which ones do I need the most? No, no, no. I'm getting it. I could get the bike, but I'd rather not. You got a quest. Oh, well, rip. Anything else I might need? Cries there were no bike. It's okay, don't worry about it. Oh, there it is. Unless that's not what you meant. Let's see. Oh, it even tells you like the full stock and the price and everything. Shift equals times 5. Okay. Well, we definitely need at least one of those. Eggs are looking okay for milk. Uh, definitely one for that. Definitely one for that. Okay. Hmm. It's a lot of money. You know what? But it's fine. It's stuff we need, so. feel like I should definitely get the storage. Hmm. Wait, calling me poor? What do you mean poor? I never said anything about poor. Yes, I just realized that because I had skipped that without meaning to when I was seeing what you were saying. Oh wait, we had one of these already. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Might need more of that later. Wait a second. Play the music. Might need more sugar too. There. Okay. We should be okay. But we need to manage some stuff. We definitely gotta improve some things, but like storage, I don't know, man. I really don't know what the best course is to make money faster so that I can upgrade sooner. Like there's some nice stuff here. But there's a bunch of stuff here that goes into fridges, so I would need more fridges. Looks like I might even need 2. And bills, I think, are automatically paid. Yes, we talked about this, about how I have to take a full-on like theatrical bow to be able to like nobility. Okay, good. I did change these. Requires storage. Okay, so there's a couple things I need there. So I do need to buy storage anyway. How much is the fridge? I need a tall rack anyway, though. That's $250. Double fridge is $375. What's this? We sell 2 bags of peanut butter. Do you want to buy for 58 bucks? Sure. Then I won't have to buy peanut butter for a while. Oh. Trash around. $32.65. Bro, why? How are we currently looking? That's a lot of cheese gone already. Let's get these up on the... Wait, if I remove it, does it say? Okay, it does stay. That's good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy the storage here in a sec. Once we get like at least like 900, that way I still have a little left over to buy more supplies. More merchandise. No, stream restarted again. He's got it. It's fine. You know what? I'll go ahead and do it. It says I need a tall rack. Can I name it? What should I even name it? How would I even name it? Management maybe? 250. Oh, okay. Sure. Oh. What's up? What's up, Jew? Oh, what did I do? No. I mean, yeah. That does kind of happen. Almost into the night, so... We might not have to immediately buy more of supplies. Oh. Hmm. I don't think I ever had anything under there. Pretty sure I didn't. This kind of sucks. I don't know if I should buy anything right now. I spent a lot. Like, a lot. Okay, I think I can do that. He's so small. He's just a baby. Okay, yep. We definitely lost a lot. Mostly because of the upgrades, but cereal and pasta. 265. 605. Okay. Just in case. I'm currently not gonna use the storage because this is just a little simpler right now. But when I get somebody to do the stocking, then I can do it. Bread. Honestly, I should just start it. That way I'm using time wisely, not to mention it takes some time for them to get here initially anyway. You would like... trying to remember what you told... Is it pronounced door? Oh, it is door, okay. Unless it's door. Like, is it door but with a W, or is it like pronounced differently? Water? Well, there's water right here. You know, it looks like it says flote, but it's like aoete or something like that. we already have a bunch of peanut butter, so there. I need a lot more money, but I want to just do the quest. Here, just so I have a little something to do. .95. It's a lot of people. Yeah, get out of here. That was close. Will we survive? That's the true question. Yeah, that's all for now. That was expensive though. Oop. And this is the supermarket experience. Not a lot of people buying bread nowadays. Hello. Probably do that. That's a concern. Do, do, do. What's up? There we go. Uh-oh. Hello? Speaker? I'm insulting customers less. Listen, alright? I've been very... I'm like tired, so... When I get up here, it looks like it's foggy in here. But it's just like the sunbeam, light beam. A lot of people coming here after closing time. It's a little weird. Oh, jeez. Make a Amazon wish store pillows. I'll buy you 10, way more than you need. Maybe I should add that to the throne. Just a pillow. Alright, the last one. Looks like it. Okay, a little bit of profit. You know, I think I'm actually gonna just call it now. Because there was some stuff I kind of wanted to do today. Off stream, not stream related. But yeah, so I think I'm actually just gonna go. I'm also definitely gonna try to sleep earlier again, because I would prefer being able to start streams at like 6, as opposed to how I've been starting them pretty late these days. But yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and end. Also, I think right now is a good time I'd be able to actually raid somebody on the Twitch. Let's just see if there's anyone to raid first. Okay. Come on, Twitch, just load already. My internet's being so bad right now. That's also another thing that's worrying me, so I'm just gonna like cut it out early. Wow, this window's not loading. Okay, there we go. I could raid. Let's see. Could raid Ruby. She just started a peak stream. Haven't raided her in a long time. Alright. Unable to raid at this. What do you mean I'm unable to raid at this time? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I guess I can't raid. Because, sure. Oh, is that why? Is it because the stream restarted? You know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna end. Good night. See y'all. Peace. Bye.